Hey everyone, it's John Howard, and I need your help. I haven't made a video like this since Hurricane Helene, when I made a viral video calling for help because the government wasn't doing anything and I needed helicopters. I need your help right now because I have exhausted all appropriate methods through my chain of command, even my members of Congress, and our message has been blocked from reaching Governor Desantis, our wonderful governor, and we want this message to get to him to open up an investigation and expose the fraud and corruption that is happening here within the Florida State Guard at the highest levels of executive leadership, the executive director, and at the executive governor's office, Mark Thiem and Jay Arnold. They have done everything from covering up sexual harassment claims, misuse of Floridian taxpayer dollars in excess of over $10 million, harassment, threatening, toxic workplace environment, whistleblower retaliation, and they've even threatened me that if I went public, I would be fired and removed from the state guard, which they also tried to do that when I made the video in North Carolina, but I had so many politicians backing me, they decided to back off because I have so many statements. And here's another thing. This is not just me. I am just the mouthpiece for so many others, to include other commanders who have already sent in their letter of resignations, other directors, other officers, other NCOs. My concern after speaking to so many people, commanders and other people within the Florida State Guard, is that if we were called upon by the Governor Desantis for a hurricane or a real world mission, we would not be able to meet that requirement because of how many people have resigned or how many people have been fired by the director. And nobody wants to come work at these units no more because of the director. So my concern is for the safety of our fellow Floridians and even our neighbor states, because we are not in a good position to go out and do missions. We've lost so many pilots. We've already been losing SMU members over this. And it just seems like we're imploding from the inside. It's almost like we're being sabotaged. So that is my concern, is that we can't go serve you, the people of Florida. Flight training. The executive director, who is not a pilot, decided he wanted to get his personal pilot's license, private pilot's license, PPL. He accumulated over $64,000 in just flight time, not to include the 2 pilots, maintenance, and fuel. Over $64,000. When you add those other factors in, it's well over $100,000 because he wanted to get his private pilot's license. He also canceled real world missions that we had going with multiple different agencies so he could do his private pilot's license. And I should also say, you guys know me as a Special Missions Unit member. I'm a captain, and I'm also the air liaison officer between SMU and the aviation division. He stopped me from doing my aviation duties, which was flying, because I am a pilot. I have my own plane, and I've been flying for 11 years and over 800 hours of flying. I'm an instrument rated pilot. When he stopped my flight training and aviation duties at the squadron there is when he started doing his private pilot's license. Another funny thing about this, the director of aviation, who is now demoted, recommended me to become the aviation commander along with my current leadership, my commander, and he also denied that, wouldn't even consider me because he hates me that much from North Carolina. Now, another misuse of power. Our commander at the Special Missions Unit, Jordan Bowen, who recently received a leadership award for our actions in North Carolina, the executive director fired him. And he fired him because our commander refused to not issue an unlawful order from the director to one of our teammates who was in Black Hawk Down. Let me say this again. Our teammate was a Delta Force operator at the age of 24 in Black Hawk Down and retired as a master sergeant out of Delta Force. 1 Silver Star, 4 Bronze Stars with Valor, 3 Purple Hearts. And this guy has been in SOCOM Hall of Fame inductee. And for the last 12 years, he has been an unpaid consultant helping between federal and the state of Florida. So what did the director nail him on? And by the way, this member just joined the SMU 6 months ago. He wanted our commander to issue him a letter of reprimand for not having the appropriate chain of command approval, which he actually did at our level, for things for consulting before he was even in the State Guard. Our commander, who is about to be a fully qualified attorney here in about 4 months, told the director this is an unlawful order. This was done prior to him even being in the State Guard, and it was also First Amendment violation, constitutional right violations. The director then fired our commander for failing, a loss of confidence for failing to issue a letter of reprimand to a member of Delta Force who was in Black Hawk Down. It's that toxic and crazy and just stupid of a thing. Anyways, sexual harassment cover-up by leadership. A female member of the Florida State Guard, while she was deployed to the Texas border as a State Guard member to help them with their border issue, after being unwanted advances and social media messages and text messages, this is all public record and it is an active lawsuit right now. She reported to her leadership that she was being sexually harassed and it was unwanted. The individual that helped her report this claim, they both got workplace intimidation and threatened, to the point to where the member went into her room, her hotel room, without her permission and did who knows what. She filed an actual police report, and the police report confirms, probably because they checked the hotel keys, that this individual went into her room without her permission, gained unlawful injury, and leadership did nothing about it. Here's where it gets crazier. The individual that helped her report, who was also a State Guard member, helped her report the sexual harassment claim. His entire unit turned on him while he was in Texas. They literally left him stranded in Texas, took him off orders, and said, buy your own plane ticket home. Find your own way home. We deployed you here. Now we're taking you off orders. You're not being paid, and we're not paying for you to return to Florida. Her as well, she also was stranded at the airport, and she was denied a plane ticket home, back to Camp Blanding. Here's where it gets even crazier. After her sexual harassment claim becomes known to everybody in leadership, they remove her from her unit, switch her to a different unit. The person that she accused of sexual harassment gets promoted. She gets put from full-time status to volunteer status. After the leadership, the director and all of them, conclude their investigation, they're the ones that were the investigators, they said they found nothing wrong. She hired a civilian attorney and filed a lawsuit against the state of Florida. More taxpayer funds being wasted because now we have to defend because of these people that are in charge. They say, this is all public record, they actually said this. Because you are not a state employee, because you are a volunteer, I want to make it clear, because you are not a state employee, we are not responsible for what happened to you. Meaning, we're not responsible for you being sexually harassed, and we're not going to do anything about it because you're just a volunteer. Although we deployed you and we are asking you to work for us. That blows my mind. Like, no one's going to want to join the State Guard because of that. It just absolutely blows my mind that they would even, the nerve to say that. This is from the director of aviation who was demoted, which is mind-blowing. Several financial management concerns have arisen under the executive director's direction, including instructing the Aviation Response Battalion to spend approximately $4 million in unrequired aircraft parts near the end of fiscal year to ensure full budget expenditure without operational justification. Oversight failures leading to an apparent loss of roughly $3 million in fiscal year 25. That's already $7 million right there, requiring the division of funds from other divisions to compensate for untracked or unrealized expenses. Pressuring staff to execute aircraft purchases and contracts without properly defined requirements solely to meet physical deadlines, resulting in unsuitable or insufficient acquisitions. For example, 2 Cessna 425 Conquest aircraft that cost $7 million before profile was evaluated, later determined to be incompatible with the observation equipment for our missions. And when I asked the director why, it was because the executive director wanted a bigger plane so that they could fly him and his staff around the state of Florida. That is the misuse of your taxpayer dollars. So flight training, buying aircraft that we can't even use for a mission other than transporting members across Florida, which we could just drive. All kinds of nonsense. I can even tell you from being at the aviation, I remember there was 3 aircraft there that were $1 million a piece. And I was like, why did we buy these aircraft? Because my aircraft was $1 million, my personal aircraft. And I was like, why didn't we buy these, which are so much better than these? And they were like, that was the director. We had no say in it. And I was just mind blown that someone without even a pilot's license is telling retired military pilots, helicopter and fixed wing, what to buy. Okay, let me go into some more stuff. So after our commander's being fired, we were also hearing all these rumors that the director was going to dismantle the entire special missions unit, which is just mind blowing. Then some of our members in Congress got involved and it seemed like it kind of fused that out. Now, as of yesterday, our executive director has made a new social media policy. And he said, if any individual talks about this matter or anything negative about him or other executive members, he will personally fire that member. Well, I'm here, so I'll be waiting on it, sir, whenever you want. I'm a volunteer. I get paid $160 a day when activated on status. Let me tell you about that, because by the time I fly my personal $1 million aircraft to training and I stay there for a week, I don't even pay for the fuel of my plane. So if you think I'm doing this for money, you just don't know who John Howard is. All the members, no one does this for $160 a day. That's also our per diem for food and everything. So we really don't even make that after we buy our food. We do it because we love serving and we love our state of Florida and we love serving you, the people of Florida. And I need your help to expose this. I need you calling your state representatives. I need you calling DeSantis. I need you calling anyone that has any type of influence to share this video to help us so we can help you. There's more. Oh, yeah. So our executive director's social media policy. If we post this or talk negative about him, he will fire us instantly. Also, he is requiring all of us, remember, we're all volunteers, at some point next week that hasn't been determined, to drive over 5 hours to Central Florida for a gear shakeout for accountability. And then he's going to have a meeting with us. And at that point, we can decide if we want to stay or go and resign. And if you can't make that meeting, which isn't even planned next week, you have to get a permission slip. I'm literally not kidding. A permission slip from his attorney, who's going to call and verify at your work or verify that you already had paid for plans for a trip. And if you don't get your permission slip, you're fired. That's the kind of harassment, intimidation. It's mind-blowing that they would do that to volunteers who have already proven our mission capabilities so much, especially with Hurricane Helene and other missions that we have been doing for the state of Florida. Safety concerns involving the director. He has been observed, and it has been reported in written documents of him using the emergency lights on his state-issued vehicle to get through traffic multiple times. And think about that. He is using red, white, blue lights, whatever, blue lights on a GOV to make cars move. He could be causing actual safety issues by doing that, running lights and sirens when there's actually not an emergency. He has also been observed and has been told repeatedly he is not allowed to open carry a firearm with handcuffs because he has never gone through our qualification standard training. A lot of Inspector General complaints have been filed. I even know congressional people who have reached out to the IG. Nothing is being done. This isn't something that just happened last month. This stuff has been ongoing for a year or more with no results. I've even heard that some of the claims have just been swept under the rug, that nothing was done. I don't know what is going on at the IG's office, but nothing's happening, that's for sure. What I need from this video is for the Governor Desantis, who we all love, to please open up an investigation into the director. And this isn't a personality conflict. This isn't one unit. This is all the units. This is the Special Missions Unit. This is the Aviation Unit. This is the Maritime Unit. This is the Crisis Response Battalion Unit. This is also headquarters. So many people have resigned because of the toxic workplace environment, the belittling, the talking down to, talking down to commanders in front of their insubordinates, eroding trust, covering up sexual harassment, misusing taxpayer funds for personal gain, and everyone sees it. And he has completely, solely destroyed the Florida State Guard. And I know DeSantis loves the Florida State Guard because he started the Florida State Guard. And the SMU was his envision. He wanted a JSOC style type unit. And we love it. The volunteers love it. The people love us. We've done great things. Kerrville, North Carolina, Florida, all over, working with our other agencies. And we want to continue doing that. We want to continue serving you, the people of Florida. But I need your help because our message is being blocked from going to the governor directly. So please help me. Please share this message. Tag everybody you can and get the word out there. Thank you.